Let's talk conjunctions. Do you remember the song from Schoolhouse Rock? Of course you do. But what was that about? This is a pre-algebra class, you say. This is a math class. Why are we talking about language and grammar and conjunctions? Good question. And the answer is algebra is a language. As I said before, it's the language of problems. It's the language of solving problems. And to be a language, it needs its own grammar. Now, when you were in between first and third grade, you were taught to only use the word and when saying a number when you come to a decimal point or a fraction. For instance, any whole number will never have or should never have the word and in it. So when you read a big number like this, you read it as 1,125. When you read a big number like this, it's 500,237. So you only use the word and when you see a decimal point or a fraction. Now, this becomes very important when you start to deal with decimals that go far to the right of the decimal point, because you have a ones column, but you also have a tens and a tenths and a hundreds and a hundredths and even worse, a thousands and a thousandths. And it's very difficult to hear the ends of the words when someone is speaking. That is why the English language emphasizes the ends of the words and breaks up the words so you can hear them more clearly. It is one of the distinctive features of the English language and is incidentally the hardest feature, or one of the hardest features, to teach to non-native speakers. So in order to get around this and make it easier for people to understand the numbers, this is why we have the rule about and only being used for decimals. 1 and 5/10. Because you've heard the and, you know it's going to be a decimal place and not a s or z decimal place. So let's practice. 10 and 1/10. 100 and 100th. 1,000 and 1,000ths. 100,000 and 100,000ths. Very rarely you'll need to use numbers exactly like this, but they're good practice for the th sound that you need to use when you speak in decimals.